addictions. And we're going to talk about food addictions and what it is that causes them and how can you get rid of them. So we'll be right back after this quick break. So stick and stay, don't stray away, and we'll be back in just one moment. So we want you to stay with us. And of course, if you are on our switchboard, we want you to press one if you've had challenges with your diet. We definitely want you to overcome it today. We'll be right back. So stay with us. We have an opportunity to transform the whole global society in the next 50 years. 50 years from now, the earth will be populated by a new generation of adults, many of whom are yet unborn. Our mission is to nurture them in childhood with love, guidance, and protection, and to raise them in healthy, happy families. If we impart values of compassion, generosity, and respect for fellow human beings in the next generation of children, they will create a world where people can live together in peace. This is our goal. Be a part of the transformation. Get your copy of the book, The Female Solution. Go to www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com. And we are back. You are listening to and watching the Female Solution Global Radio TV show. I'm Naima Latif, and today we want you to get your bodies together for optimum health. We just had a very food-driven holiday, and many of you overate. Many of you actually kept eating no matter how unhealthy it was. And many of you actually got sick afterwards. Well, there are people who struggle with food addictions. And because a food addiction isn't always noticeable in a society that obsesses about food, you may not realize it. But we want to talk to you about it today because food addictions are often the reason for obesity. People use food as a drug. And unfortunately, this leads to some severe health problems. It's not just that food is being used as a drug, but it is actually being used as comfort and as a means of overcoming the pain and stress of life. So it's not as noticeable when people use food in the same way they use alcohol or drugs to overcome the pain, the hurt, the sadness, the depression that they're experiencing. And so we want to help with that today. And if you're on our switchboard, feel free to press 1. If you have a particular craving, if you've noticed whenever perhaps you're sad, there's a joke about eating chocolate, and people do tend to eat chocolate when they are sad. The sugar definitely
adds a biochemical reaction. It creates a high, just like a drug. And so people are often addicted to sugary snacks or other things that are not necessarily healthy. People often turn to salty snacks, chips, and other things that lead to high blood pressure. So, what is it that causes a food addiction? What is it that creates an obsession for eating? And why is eating a response to depression? It's important for us to uncover this because so much of our unhealthy eating is a result of our emotional state. And if we come from a family in which there is alcoholism or drug abuse, the addictive personality is already a part of who we may have become. So if we are if we are concerned and we are trying to figure out how to lose weight, we often have to look at the emotional reason for our eating. We have to look at the emotional reasons for our eatings because that's where it starts. It's not physical, it is emotional. And so, if we are able to recognize the emotional reasons behind our food addiction, then rather than endless dieting and crash diets and fad diets that make us unhealthy, we can simply get a handle on the emotional response to grab some food whenever we're sad. So we're excited because we have an opportunity to really help those who are struggling with food addictions and may not know it. And if you are one of those people that have struggled a long time with your weight, we want you to know that you're not alone. It's not about fat shaming, but truly getting to the emotional underlying cause of a food addiction. Now, many of our viewers and listeners have struggled with weight and have dealt with being our healthcare does not deal with the reality of our healthcare does not deal with the reality of our healthcare does not deal with got a little bit of a echo here. Got a little bit of a echo here. But of course, we do appreciate the fact. But of course, we do appreciate the fact. But of course, we do appreciate the fact. And but of course, we do appreciate the fact. And our camera is malfunctioning. So we're going to continue until we fix our camera for those that are watching. And we're going to go to our phone lines. And if you're listening online and want to join this conversation, give us a call, 515-605-9325, and press 1 when you're ready to speak. Area code 312-632, Grand Rising. Thank you for joining us. Yes. Thank you so much. starts in your state of being. And we're back. We're back on our Facebook and YouTube channel. So if you are a visual person and want to join us, we will gladly post your comments. And if you are on our Blog Talk channel, we'll gladly take your calls, because you are what makes this program special. You're sharing your knowledge and insight. So we value you for who you are and what you bring. And we're so excited to be growing and expanding. And we're going to be bringing you more programs, more socially involved programs. Next week, we invite you to shop with Zoe as we introduce some products that can enhance your life and make life better, and even give you some income opportunities. So we invite you to join us. And then we also invite you, as we expand on our project for the unhoused. Many people who are struggling with being unhoused are in fact struggling with mental illness, emotional distress, life that has become overwhelming. And this is at the root of so many societal issues. So we want you to participate in the healing process, and we'll be telling you more how, and you'll be able to find out more on our website, www.thefemalesolution.com. But we want to share with you about food addictions, particularly because there are many that have gone to doctors and have been given all kinds of medications, and they don't help, because the problem is not physical, it is emotional. And even with something like a hormone imbalance, still the root causes of the behavior, the root causes of all behavior, is emotional. So we want to share with you 3 causes of food addictions. Research has uncovered that possible causes and influential factors that lead to the development of an addiction to food include genetics, serotonin malfunction, endorphin overstimulation, brain imaging, opioids, and cross addictions. So, food addiction has many suspected causes. Research has shown that addiction has a genetic component, but other factors may cause food addiction, such as emotions and stress. People who become addicted to food may eat to enhance positive emotions and to reduce negative emotions. Have you ever had a breakup and you were depressed and you wanted to grab a bowl of ice cream or a piece of chocolate cake? This is an emotional response. And we know that the chemicals in the brain stimulate behavior. So if we have a malfunction because of long periods of depression, then we're going to seek some type of relief. And this is where addictions come in. Trying to get those endorphins, trying to feel better, trying to get those opioids, trying to feel better. So when we can't produce them naturally from our natural happy moods, our natural upbeat feeling, our natural joy, we look for a biochemical stimulant. And we look for something that's going to give us that good feeling. And so we end up using food. So if we are drawn to use food as a means to help us get into a better mood, this can become habit forming. So, what percentage of Americans are? These are the same criteria used to diagnose addiction-related problems with alcohol, tobacco, and other addictive substances. What is this? By these criteria, addiction to highly processed food was seen in 17% of adults aged 50 to 64 and 8% of adults aged 65 to 80. And statistics show 1 in 8 Americans over 50 show signs of food addiction. So if you are turning to food when you find yourself in a state of depression, sadness, worry, stress, it becomes habitual. And then it becomes a drive. And then it becomes an addiction. So every person has food preferences. Of course, most will agree that these 7 most addictive foods are, and listen to this, if you get a desire to eat these when you're sad or stressed: pizza, chocolate, potato chips, ice cream, French fries, cake, cheeseburgers. Now, this is not to cast shade on any fast food restaurant that serves cheeseburgers, but that is one of the highly addictive foods. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll take some more of your calls. And if you're listening online, we've got some calls. We'll go to area code 312-882 right after this break. Do you have a favorite food that you tend to reach for when you are sad? Do you have a food that you crave and can't stop eating? Do you have a food that is probably hurting your health? I just got word that a dear friend passed away, and we'll talk about that in a future show. Certainly health issues. We'll be right back after this quick break, so stick and stay. Don't stray away. We'll be back in a moment, so stay with us.
our global peace movement. Heavenly Culture World Peace Restoration of Light transcends culture, religion, ideology, and other boundaries to achieve peaceful harmony in the global society. HWPL is committed to bringing world peace and cessation of war through peaceful dialogue between religious groups. I am Director Shin-Suk Kim of the HWPL Chicago branch of North America. Join us for our next gathering. Call 773-580-1501 and be a part of the movement for world peace. Email us at chicagohwpl@gmail.com.
Hi, this is John Alexander.
And I'm Naima Latif. Meet people like you who are making a positive difference in the world. Watch us every day on The Media Connection at www.youtube.com/TheMediaConnectionTV.
YouTube it. We'll see you soon.
There are people who choose to make a positive difference in the world. Our job is to bring you their stories to motivate you to do the same. Join us each week, host John Alexander and Naima Latif, as we bring you the educators, entertainers, elected officials, religious leaders, and community activists whose works are transforming this world. Find out how you can make a difference too. Be inspired. Watch The Media Connection. Mondays at 5 p.m. and Tuesdays at 12 noon on cable TV channel 19 in Chicago and other cities. Check your local cable listings. I'm Beata, your holistic life coach. These days, it's more important than ever to work on your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. Are you consciously breathing deeply in stressful moments? Do you have a plan or daily routine to maintain balance in your awesome body? Are you struggling to be disciplined in your eating habits? When you partner with me, I'll help you develop a personalized health plan that works for your particular lifestyle. You can find out more about me at yourholisticlifecoach.com, where you can also review my 3-step protocol to guide you to abundant health. That's yourholisticlifecoach.com, and I'm Beata.
And we are back. You're listening to and watching the Female Solution Global Radio TV show. I'm Naima Latif. And of course, if you are listening online and want to join this conversation, you can give us a call, 515-605-9325, and press 1. And if you'd like to join us on the Female Solution Facebook page, you can go to our website, www.thefemalesolution.com, and just scroll down, press the Female Solution Facebook page and connect right away. And of course, same with our YouTube channel. We've made it easier, we've made it easier on our website to keep track of all of our wonderful hosts every day. And we want you to always continue to be part of the solution. So let me go to our phone lines, area code 312-882 Grand Rising. Thank you for listening to the Female Solution. Give us your name, where you're calling from, and your comments.
Shalom. That means we are one in God.
Yes, we are.
And assalamu alaikum, Brother Plump, Melvin Floyd Plump in Chicago, Illinois, the world's greatest city. How you doing, Sister Naima?
I'm just fantastic, and how are you?
I am fantastic too, just like you. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. Thank God for us. You know, the female solution. See, the greatest thing that you all have contributed to me, as well as to everyone in Chicago, America, and the world, is the PMA healing process.
Absolutely.
responds to need, greed, or curiosity. So we have to leave out all the greed.
Yes.
The need and curious. You know, every day is a curiosity way of life, which is produced by yours truly, the Female Solution.
Yes.
I enjoy you all the time, you know, because, see, it's mind over matter.
Yes.
You know, we are
Yes.
products of the mind that we eat as well as the food that we keep.
Yes.
And we have to realize that, you know, it's a cause and effect to everything in life.
Yes.
And the most important thing is that we all are energy, but we have to use the PMA energy.
Yes.
And that's where we need to come together as a collaboration.
Absolutely.
Education, because information is the key to success. And that's what you all offer, information, you all offer products, goods, and services. And we do too, as a complimentary to Harold Washington Foundation. I always remember what Mayor Washington said, we must plump the whole community, which really means the whole world. And we ain't going nowhere without the people. You all have made our day every day. And I'm just so happy that Dr. King used to say that we all can be great if we just serve.
Yes,
so it's never
absolutely.
too late to serve people. And if you serve God and you serve others, then you're on your way to helping to build the kingdom of God on earth. And so
Yes.
for more information, brothers and sisters, y'all be sure and get in touch with Brother Plum and Naima Latif. And you can reach me at 312-882-5935. So we can get rid of the jive and we can restore our health and we become alive so we can create the help opportunity to save our children in the whole community. So God bless you, sister. Keep up the good work, and we'll be seeing you right where you always have been and always will be, at the top.
Yes, sir. Well, we thank you so very much. And we'll see you at the top as well. We appreciate you so very much. And of course, if you are listening online and want to join this conversation, give us a call, 515-605-9325, and press 1 when you're ready to speak, and we will gladly open your mic. And if you're on our switchboard now and have a thought you'd like to share, press 1, and again, we will open your mic. We're so excited because we are making a difference throughout the world. We are preparing as we expand. We're preparing to take our message globally. And when you see us every day, you're seeing a global family. We have brought you guests from different nations, and we have brought you hosts from across the seas, and we'll be bringing you products and services from across the seas as we are shopping with shopping with Zoe every Tuesday morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. and that's Central Time, and 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and I believe that's 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. GMT. We're going to have a lot more listeners from Europe as we introduce some products and services that can help in your health and well-being, as well as your everyday comfort in life. We're reaching out to our global family because we are one family. And the hosts on the Female Solution understand that it's a mindset. Just like a healthy body is a mindset, a healthy mind is a mindset. And a healthy body can only be in health when all parts are working together in harmony. The same thing with the society. We can only have a healthy society when all parts are working together in health and well-being. So we want the health and well-being of all members of our society. We want those who are struggling with being unhoused or being without a way to earn a living so that they can contribute their share to the well-being of the society. We want to repair that. And we will continue to create programs that make that possible. So we're looking forward to having you participate in a particular upcoming program to help the unhoused, because so many people who are unhoused, they are unhealthy because they don't get a chance to get regular nutritious food. And often the unhealthy food is the inexpensive food, the fast food, the snacks. If you give a person $1 and that's all they have for the day, what can you buy with $1? Well, you can buy a bag of chips. So maybe you can buy a donut. But as far as a meal, when you're living on the street, you don't have access to healthy food on a regular basis. So that's why we're expanding the Higher Learning Networks program for the unhoused, those who need shelter and don't have what it takes to qualify to get shelter, whether it be because they have a record, prison record, or because they have bad credit, or because they have absolutely no source of income, or because they may have some emotional challenges. But every human being deserves to live in a shelter of some type that is comfortable and safe, especially in this frigid weather. So we in the Female Solution, we're going to help you be a part of that solution in whatever way you choose. And we'll be expounding more on that in our next Wednesday show. And so we're giving you opportunities to enhance your life on our Tuesday show with Shopping with Zoe, because we are helping to enhance the circulation of financial means so that our economy can be healthy. And we want you to be healthy as well. So, more on the difficulty in handling food addictions. Often because we have a society where there is what's called fat shaming, people tend to feel ashamed because they can't stop eating. Well, according to Healthline, while food addiction is not listed in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, it typically involves binge eating disorders, binge eating behaviors, cravings, and a lack of control around food. While someone who gets a craving or overeats occasionally probably won't fit the criteria for the disorder, here are at least 8 common symptoms. 8 common signs and symptoms of food addiction. And if you are struggling with your eating, your weight, being able to push away from the table, we want you to take some notes and think about if you have a food addiction. 1, getting cravings despite feeling full. It's not uncommon to get cravings even after eating a fulfilling, nutritious meal. For example, after eating a dinner with steak, potatoes, and veggies, some people may crave ice cream for dessert. Cravings and hunger aren't the same thing. A craving occurs when you experience an urge to eat something, despite having already eaten or being full. This is pretty common and doesn't necessarily mean that someone has food addiction. Most people get cravings. However, if cravings happen often and satisfying or ignoring them becomes hard, they may be an indicator of something else. These cravings are not about a need or energy or nutrients. It's the brain calling for something that releases dopamine, a chemical in the brain that plays a role in how humans feel pleasure. Dopamine. You're seeking something that will release dopamine, a chemical in the brain that plays a role in how humans feel pleasure. That's exactly the response that leads to alcohol and drug addiction and even promiscuous sex addiction. You're seeking something that will release dopamine because you're sad. Second thing, eating much more than intended. For some people, there's no such thing as a bite of chocolate or a single piece of cake. One bite turns into 20, and one slice of cake turns into half a cake. This all or nothing approach is common with addiction of any kind. There's no such thing as moderation. It simply does not work. Telling someone with food addiction to eat junk food in moderation is almost like telling someone with alcoholism to drink beer in moderation. It's just not possible. So when giving in to a craving, someone with a food addiction might eat much more than intended. You just keep eating. That one slice of pie becomes a whole pie. 3, eating until feeling excessively stuffed. When giving in to a craving, someone with food addiction may not stop eating until the urge is satisfied. They might then realize that they've eaten so much that their stomach feels completely stuffed. Well, and this happened to a lot of people over Thanksgiving. For some reason, that's a tradition, to keep eating and eating and eating until you've overeaten and you're almost sick. Why are we doing that? Why are we doing that? So, eating until feeling excessively stuffed, either frequently or all the time, may be classified as binge eating. And 4, feeling guilty afterward, but doing it again soon. And how many people talk about, oh, I ate too much, and you feel bad. You feel bad that you didn't have the self-control to stop, but you did it again. So trying to exert control over the consumption of unhealthy foods and then giving in to a craving can lead to feelings of guilt. And how many people go on a diet and feel guilty when they break the diet, or they feel guilty when they eat the thing that they said they wouldn't eat? A person may feel that they're doing something wrong or even cheating themselves. Despite these unpleasant feelings, a person with a food addiction will repeat the pattern. So feelings of guilt after a period of binge eating are common. 5, you're making up excuses. The brain can be a strange thing, especially in regards to addiction. Deciding to stay away from trigger foods can cause someone to create rules for themselves, yet these rules may be hard to follow. When faced with a craving, someone with food addiction might find ways to reason around the rules and give in to the craving. This line of thinking may resemble that of a person who is in the process of trying to quit smoking. That person may think that if they don't buy a pack of cigarettes themselves, they're not a smoker. Nonetheless, they might smoke cigarettes from a friend's pack. Okay, so you go to dinner and you don't order that big piece of chocolate cake, but then you take a few bites off of your friend's plate or your family member's plate or your date's plate. And you've still eaten it, but in your mind you say, well, I didn't really order it, so I didn't eat it. So setting rules around eating patterns and then making excuses for why it's okay to disregard them can be common with food addiction. Now, if you recognize any of these things, we want you to think about whether or not you have a food addiction and how you can go about getting to the root cause of what's really causing you to overeat. And our Monday morning mindfulness host, Zelda Speaks, said, "We're so conditioned to celebrate life with food, which we eat later dinners and snacks all day." Yes, we do. And snacking before dinner can really wreck your metabolism because your body needs to rest. And if your body has to be digesting food all day, all night, then you can't get good sleep. So this is a critical thing to get a hold of. And if you're fighting depression with food and the last thing you do at night is grab that piece of cake and bowl of ice cream to try to stimulate that dopamine, you're going to really tax your body. And that food that you ate late at night, you're going to feel the effects of it when you wake up in the morning. And you'll be tired because you've been working on digesting all night. Now, number 6 is repeated failures at setting rules. When people are struggling with self-control, they often try to set rules for themselves. Examples include only sleeping in on the weekends, always doing homework right after school, never drinking coffee at certain times in the afternoon. For most people, these rules almost always fail, and rules around eating are no exception. Examples include having one cheat meal or cheat day per week and only eating junk food at parties, birthdays, etc. So you set a rule and then you break the rule. And the rule doesn't help you with your food addiction. 7, and think about if you do this, hiding eating from others. People with a history of rule setting and repeated failures often start hiding their consumption of junk food from others. They may prefer to eat alone when no one else is home, alone in the car, or late at night after everyone else has gone to bed. Now, if you've got a spouse or a loved one who's nagging you about your weight or nagging you about staying on a diet and you find yourself cheating on that diet, you don't want them to know when you're eating. And this, number 8, is a big one. Unable to quit despite physical problems. When foods you eat can significantly affect which foods you choose to eat, can significantly affect your health. In the short term, junk food can lead to weight gain, acne, bad breath, fatigue, poor dental health, and other common problems. A lifetime of junk food consumption can lead to obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, Alzheimer's, dementia, and even some types of cancer. Someone who experiences any of these problems related to their intake of unhealthy foods but is unable to change their habits likely needs help. A treatment plan that's designed by qualified professionals is typically recommended for overcoming eating disorders. So we want you to realize that an eating disorder starts in the brain. You're needing to generate dopamine and your desire to change your brain chemistry so that you have that feeling of pleasure. And when you can't do it, then food becomes your refuge. We want to thank you for joining us today. Join us again tomorrow for Soulful Solutions with Dr. Debbie Green. As always, we appreciate you for listening in and joining in.
We've come to the end of our show today.
And we'll see you every day on the Female Solution Global Radio TV show. I'm Naima Latif. Until tomorrow, continue to shine your light.
Go to www.facebook.com/thefemalesolution. Leave your comments about today's show. You can always reach me on my website at www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com. Watch our TV shows, listen to our radio shows, order our books, and be sure to get your copy of the book, The Female Solution. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussion. And to our global family listening from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, Sheshe, India, Lanyaman, Japan, Arigato, Korea, Kamsahamnida, Russia, Spasiba, Germany, Danke, Poland, Dziękuję, France, Merci, Spain, gracias, Italy, grazie, Egypt, shukran, Ghana, Medasi, Nigeria, Eshe, South Africa, Nyabonga, Senegal, Jerez, Kenya, Asante, Israel, Toda, Pakistan, Shukriya, Afghanistan, Tashakur, Saudi Arabia, Shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you. And may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings. Thank you for using Blog Talk